Emily asked if there were any records of where he went after that. Harold nodded slowly. He stayed until the early 70s. Then he sold his house and moved inland. Some said Oregon, others said Washington. But he hesitated. He left behind a box for a friend who passed it on to the Historical Society. Years later, we've kept it in storage. Emily's heart pounded as Harold brought out a worn wooden box. Inside were sheet music, faded photographs, and, at the very bottom, a sealed envelope addressed to Margaret O'Connor. Her breath caught. The handwriting was unmistakable. She sat down on a bench by the window, Pacific glimmering in the distance, and carefully opened the envelope. "My dearest Margaret, if you are reading this, it means I never found my way back to you. I tried, I swear I did. The war ended, but by the time I made it home, you were gone from Ireland. I didn't know where to look, so I kept moving, hoping our paths might cross by chance. I've carried your letter with me all these years, worn soft by my hands. I never stopped waiting, in my own way. You once told me the sea connects us no matter where we are. I've chosen to live by it always, so that somewhere deep down we might still be looking at the same horizon. Yours, always, James." Emily's hands shook. All this time her grandmother had been waiting on one shore while James had been searching. From another, two hearts circling the globe, never quite meeting again. She closed the letter and stared out at the ocean, feeling an ache she couldn't name. But she also felt a strange sense of peace. As if she had finally bridged a gap her grandmother could not in that moment. She made a decision. She would take James's letter back to Ireland, to lay it beside Margaret's, so that last the two could rest together. Asterisk. The flight back to Ireland felt longer than the journey out. Emily kept the wooden box from Mendocino on her lap the entire time, as if letting it out of her sight might somehow loosen the fragile thread connecting her to James and Margaret. When she arrived at the old family house, the air was cool and damp. The sea outside roared against the rocks, as though greeting her return. She placed James's letter beside Margaret's on the kitchen table, the two envelopes touching like hands, finally meeting after decades apart. Her father.